What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Kevin's Coast to Coast Gambling Show presented by The Disorderly. And we will start with a recap of last episode's performances by our two Kevins. In short, they were not great. They were so not great that we took a week off to do a little cool down. Now, in reality, I had a friend in town. I didn't have time to record last week, but that turned out to be fortunate for one of our Kevins who decided to text me anyway. Another stinker, I might add, not reported, therefore not counted towards his official record, but still, lucky for him that we were off last week. The official records have both Kevins at a difficult 0-1. East Coast Kevin went with a Week 1 parlay, picking the Pats and Colts. That, of course, gives you an extra 6 points on both lines, meaning the Pats were only favored by 1, and the Colts were favored by 1.5. Now, the Pats did their part. They dominated the Dolphins 21-11, but the Jags pulled off the upset over the Colts and spoiled that pick. West Coast Kevin went with the over on the Cowboys versus Rams Sunday night game. The over-under was set at 51.5, and he thought the fast turf would be enough for an easy over. No dice. They combined for only 37 points, well below the betting line. Tough break for West Coast Kev. And what about the primetime picks? Now, all three of us were in agreement for most of these, for better or worse. We all had the Cowboys -3. That was a loser. We all had the Steelers -6. That was a winner. And finally, the Titans were giving up 3 to the Broncos. I realized after the fact that I'd said the Browns like 10 times last week, so my pick doesn't count. But the Kevins did actually make picks on the correct game. The Titans won, but the Broncos covered, meaning East Coast Kev was wrong, but West Coast Kev was right. So for primetime picks, we've got East Coast Kevin with a 1-2 record, and West Coast Kevin sitting at 2-1. But let's get to the picks for this week, starting with East Coast Kevin. He's going with another parlay. Let's see if this one works out for him. He's taking the Pats and the Cowboys. Now, the Patriots play host to the Las Vegas Raiders, and with the tees, they're actually getting a point. Of course, the Pats came through on Kev's Week 1 pick. And then you've got the Cowboys heading to Seattle as 5-point underdogs. The tees brings that up to +11. So basically, as long as the Cowboys don't get blown out and the Pats win that game, then that bet will be a winner. We'll see if it's enough to get East Coast Kevin out of his losing streak. But moving on to West Coast Kevin, he's going with his favorite team, the Atlanta Falcons, -3.5. The Falcons were, of course, on the receiving end of that last-second heartbreaking loss to the Cowboys. Perhaps they're due for a bounce-back week against the visiting Bears. Now, Chicago is 2-0 to begin the season, a position many were skeptical they'd be in. Perhaps they're overachieving as well. Not that the Lions or Giants are juggernauts by any stretch of the imagination, but again, neither are the Bears. Finally, to mix things up, I'm going to start sprinkling in MMA picks whenever there's a card. And I like Brandon Royval to upset Kai Kara France tomorrow night. I think you're getting really good value there. Most books have Brandon right around a 2-1 underdog, which makes sense. It's only his second fight in the UFC. But after seeing what he did to Tim Elliott in May, I think this kid's the real deal. Look for him to make you some money Saturday night, kick off your weekend in a big way. I think the ground game could be a huge factor. Lock that one in for me. And once again, we will end things with our primetime picks. Some really great night games this week with the Packers at the Saints. The Saints are favored by 3 points. And the Chiefs at the Ravens Monday night. The Ravens are favored by 3.5. We've got a Kevin consensus for the Sunday night game. Both of them are going with the Saints. I'm actually taking the Packers as much as I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. I think the revenge tour continues for an angry Rodgers, mad that the Packers drafted a quarterback. I think the Packers improved to 3-0. Then for Monday night, East Coast Kevin is going with the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, in a rare game where they're actually the underdogs. You won't see that many times this year. West Coast Kevin thinks odds makers have a point. He's picking the Ravens -3.5. And I will side with East Coast Kevin. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the points. I'm going with the road dogs in both games. But that's where I'll leave you this week. Lock in those bets. Tune in next week for another episode of the Kevin's Coast to Coast Gambling Show. And enjoy another wonderful weekend of football and MMA. Take care, guys. Peace.